Hello my brothers and sisters in nerdiness, welcome back to the Spider's Web, and in this video we are going to be painting this Ogryn slave from Games Workshop's Necromunda. I've painted it black already as a primer, and then I've given it a dry brush over with ash grey, and then another dry brush over with matte white, both from Army Painter. But we're going to be continuing now with the flesh colour, and we're starting off as a base tone with amber skin, again from the Army Painter's Flesh Tones range. While we're talking about Army Painter paints, they sent me a box of the metallic colours paint set, and whenever you see the Army Painter logo pop up on screen, it's because I am using one of the paints that they sent me. Again, free of charge, just to be all open and honest about this. Again, they sent it me free of charge. I've not been paid to use them, I've not been paid to endorse them. My views on these are my own, and I've done the review copy, but whenever I use them, I just like to put the logo up, just as a little nod to the Army Painter as a thank you for sending them out to me. So now we're going to change paints now, and we're going to use the Pallid Bone Speed Paint. This will be the next big box I think I'm going to be getting. And this is going to be going over anywhere that I want yellow, which will be mainly the trousers, the t-shirts or overalls, whatever you want, whatever they are, and the helmet that is strapped to his knee. I'm going to be painting that as well. And anywhere else that I want yellow, probably a few more places as well, but well. Now, I've already thanked Army Painter. I also want to thank Andy from Wigan Wargames and Roleplaying Group. He gave me these minis to paint, and it's been quite a nice series for me because I've really enjoyed putting these together and painting them. I've not put them together on screen because, let's face it, the Games Workshop models, they're a pain in the bum to put together. So there. I didn't do it. I couldn't be bothered fighting with everything, so I just did that while listening to some audio books or some music or whatever, and just enjoyed my time doing it. So I've put them together, and now obviously painting them. Now he only asked me to put them together, but you know me, I love painting minis, so I just had to do these as well. Hardened leather now, and this is going to be going over anywhere that I want to be leather, surprisingly enough, which is his boots, any little straps that are on his that he's got over his clothing, his little cod piece or whatever it may be, and a bit that's under his big metallic gloves or robot arms or whatever the heck they may be, I don't know. But we're going to be using this for quite a few areas. Now, I'm also going to be chatting as well and just talking in general, so if I do miss any instructions, you'll be able to see what I'm doing on the video, so you're not going to miss anything. Everything's straightforward what I'm doing, but there we are. I don't want to miss anything, but bear in mind, if there's anything I want to talk about, I'm just going to talk. So, again, we've got some straps here around these little efforty bobs, little tubes, and you'll see in a bit that there's an issue. When I was fitting the tube for his right arm, I got it into a position where I couldn't fit that piece at the top. Rough iron is what we're doing next. If you can just see past that, well, if you'd have noticed past the plasma coil, there's a gap between the two pieces. I think you'll see a better image of it later on. I think I pointed out a bit more, but there was a gap, and this one I decided, because I painted two of these, and you'll see it in the photographs at the end of the video. There is one that I've done with like glow effect, as though the plasma coils are switched on and activated and crackling and buzzing and everything that plasma coils do, releasing their electrical energy. But this one, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it metallic. Just because that piece is disconnected, I thought it might be an idea not to have it active, so as though it's switched off. You know, it was just a executive decision, as they say, and I decided to do that. But Andy's happy with the end product, so that's all that matters. I do quite like it when you know, I've got such an easygoing, shall we say, client, for want of a better word. Oh dear. So yes, we're just going to cover all the metallic areas with this rough iron, and then you'll see what I'm going to be doing after that, because it just does look, at the moment, there's a lot of metal on this, but there is a lot of metal on the Mini, so you know, what can you do? You see every now and again that I go back to other colours. I forgot to paint this bit with the leather, so I'm going back to that now, and then we can carry on with the rough iron. Now at this point, before we actually get around to the bit where it does the all the little icons for the social media etiquette kind of thing, you know, the like, subscribe, whatnot. My Patreon, I want to thank them for being a patron for so long, and I just want to let you know that I have been putting the money aside that I've been getting every so often. I have actually taken some of it out. I take it out when it reaches about £20 and put it in a bank account and keep it to one side, as it were. And I've managed to get myself some more I've managed to get myself some lights, sort of like a small studio lighting equipment from part of the Patreon money. So thank you very much for helping out, and we will be bringing some videos to you very soon. Some retro games I was given a couple of months ago. I've been holding off from doing these videos until I've got like a decent-ish lighting setup, because as you've noticed from some of the unboxings recently, the light I've been using, which is the room light, the main room light, is a little too harsh, and these games deserve some decent lighting. They are retro games, and you will be impressed with the ones I've got. Well, at least I'm hoping you are. But as I say, I was really impressed when I was given them. I think I was given them somewhere around June, July, somewhere like that. I can't remember exactly. And as I said, I've been waiting for the right moment, and now I've got these lights, then I can play about and hopefully get a nice look to these videos. Time will tell, but they're coming very, very soon. So what do we have? I missed that. Oh yes, it's blue, the speed painter blue that's with the little starter set. I'm doing all these little glass vials or whatever they may be on in, and then going over to plate mail metal, and this is where we dry brush all the metal areas. I am looking at getting the metallic set of, you know, the what do you call it, just the normal metallics, not the coloured, because I've already got the coloured metallics, but you know, for the golds and coppers and bronzes and that kind of thing, because there's a few I've not got, and this plate mail metal and the silver, and I think the rough iron's running very low now, so I do believe it's time I invested in some more metallic colours. As you probably aware, I'm not very good at this non-metallic metal malarkey, so I'd sooner just bang some metal colours on there. So much easier. Ah dear. I know you don't learn how to do it without trying, but yeah, it's one of those things. There's certain things I do want to try, certain things I don't. You know, I just can't get to grips with it. So I'll let yellow next, and you'll be surprised what I'm going to put in this. Yeah, I'm going to put it on anywhere where I want yellow that is on the metallics, because it gives a nice shine to this. So not only will I be using this colour to break up all the, for want of a better word, well, yeah, I'm calling it plate mail metal, all the plate mail metal dry brushed areas. I'm going to be using this, and I'm going to be using some of the one of the coloured metallics later on. And yes, see how we go. But as I say, I really enjoyed doing these. They are such a nice mini to make up. A little bit fiddly at times, and if you're not careful, the feet don't stick properly. Now we're just waiting for everything to dry before we continue. And we can continue. This is how it looks once it's dried. So I've done this over the space of 2 days. So I did that first bit that you've just watched was 1 day, and this is another day. And now what we're doing is re-establishing the amber skin areas over the wash that I put over, and we're just filling in the the high points. Oh dear, if only you knew how many times I started the narration for this video and stopped it because I was getting myself all tongue-tied. Now I'm so far in, if I get myself tongue-tied, you're just going to have to deal with it. I'm not starting again. Oh dear. Anyway, as I say, we're painting all the raised areas that's going to be hit by light, and then we're going to come back a little bit later and add some more highlights to this. Obviously, it's me. I'm not doing eyes either. Don't see the point at this scale, because you're going to be looking at it from a distance anyway, and the eyes are going to be in shadow. So yeah, it's just as easy not to paint them as try to struggle to paint them. Ruby skin is what we're going to be adding as a highlight, but we're going to be mixing it in with some of the amber skin just as an intermediate highlight. And we'll just dab on this mix of colours to make the skin look a little brighter, and then we'll come back a little later on and add the ruby skin on its own to really brighten it up and make it look like the light is actually hitting the character. Very expressive faces, very wrinkly, very creased. Really nice to paint. If it didn't have that neck brace on, I'd have probably fashioned a little goatee beard for him and painted that orange so it looks like me. Not that I'm that muscly though, so I'm looking really at something that's, yeah, not muscly, just bulky. Ah well, never mind. So now we're going in with the highlights. This is just the ruby skin again, and we're just adding dots here and there to any raised areas, not covering up the previous layers of paint that we've put on. And as you can see, I'm having trouble with the base. Keeps coming, the blue tack's getting a little bit loose. The demonic yellow, this is where we're going to bring to life this yellow bit on his clothing. And we're just going to do little dots, little lines. We're not going to go mad with this. We're not going for a coverage at all. We're just making little marks here and there. And this gives it the look of it being yellow. I didn't want to go with the exact box art because that's too pristine for my liking. Making it a little more grimdark by making it look as though it's not what do you call it, the Imperial Fist. But metal areas get more of a coverage of this, but the cloth areas just get little scratches, little scratching marks, dots, that kind of thing, just to show texture. And I really am impressed at the way this actually looks. I'm even going to go into this area here where it is in shadow, but I just want to make sure that it looks yellow. I want to make it look as though there is little bits of light that's getting in there. And just building up the amount of yellow that's on there just to make sure that I get the point across. and we'll paint this little square on the front of that metallic thing there. I'll be going over this area again with a paler yellow. I just wanted to get like a base colour down, first of all, as it were. Moon dust is the paler yellow that we're going to be using for these areas. And this will be on any area that is metal, just to give it a different tone. Not doing this on the cloth or anywhere like that, but just trying to give a little bit of an edge highlight here and there on metallic areas. I think I did go over a little bit of cloth before I realised what I was doing and changed my mind. But there we are. Now, one thing I forgot to do in video, which I noticed afterwards, was the yellow square on the front panel, on the panel that's on his front. On the other ones I've done like this, I've painted it in the moon yellow, or moon dust, or whatever it's called, and then I put little diagonal lines in with a black pen on it, and I forgot to do that on video. It was only after I'd finished completely that I'd realised I'd not done it. But you will see the look on the photographs at the end of the video. This is one of those metallic colours from the paint range or paint set that I was sent, as you can see. Top left hand corner, the Army Painter logo. Thank you so much once again for that. Now, if you are interested in a games club and you live around Wigan, then, as I said at the beginning of the video, Andy from the games club I go to on Wednesday night at the Masonic Hall, it's Wigan Wargames and Wigan Wargames and Roleplaying group. We meet at 7 o'clock at the Masonic Hall in Pemberton on Wednesday evenings and the occasional Friday evening as well. So if you would like to pop down and see what we do with her and hopefully join it, you'll be more than welcome. All I would suggest is if you do come down, make sure that you knock on the door hard, because it will be locked for safety reasons for us. There's only about 10 of us in the hall and we don't want any idiots coming in, apart from the ones who are actually members, which is basically most of us, but with the right kind of idiot, really. Oh dear. Right, so you could have almost, in fact, you can see that gap there where the brush was. The two round bits, they were supposed to join together and they didn't, because I couldn't get them to join after I put the tube on the back. So we had to make the decision for one or the other. So unfortunately, it had to be that bit at the top. I think I might point it out a little more later in the video. I may be wrong. But, yeah, well, never mind. Can't have everything perfect. Just one of those things. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this series. This is one I've not used before. This comes from the flesh tone set, skin tone set. If you like the video, please give it a like. If you found it useful and you've enjoyed it, then you could also subscribe and you can watch future videos. And don't forget to hit the notification bell if you do subscribe, so you don't miss any future videos. If you'd like to help out financially, you can become a patron. As I said earlier, I've already got a set of lights, thanks to my patron. And if you don't want to use Patreon, then you can always leave me a tip or buy me a coffee. All the links for Patreon and buy me a coffee are in the description bar. Plate mail metal once again. We're coming very close to the end of the video. Coming very close to the end of the main painting session. And this is where we're just going over the base, the raised areas of the base. You've seen me do this quite often, because all the bases are exactly the same. So I just paint those recesses in red, and then on the raised areas in this metallic silver colour, plate mail metal. And then we'll get to making it look distressed and corroded and a bit ucky, because let's face it, it's an underhive and we really need it to look a bit messed up. Go around the edge with black. And I was thinking of getting, I don't know whether I mentioned this before, I was thinking of getting some of the black 2.0 or black 3.0, but for the edges of these, but to be honest, I'd only use it for that, and it's quite expensive, so I didn't bother. Now we get on to the fun part with the Typhus Corrosion from Citadel Paints. This is where we splash it on and make it look all gunky and rotting and discoloured and whatnot. And then once we've done that, we can actually just sit back and wait for a while. Yeah, we can wait. And then once we've waited until it's dried, we can come back and we can get on with this finally with Rise of Rust. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Until next time, as always, stay safe and take care. God bless and bye for now.